Okay, so today I'm gonna try and get out to Richmond. It's quite nice out that way anyway, but there was a flat there that was really good value for money, a one-bed flat. And I just thought I'd go out and look at the area because it's very, very rural. It's right on the edge of the underground and train lines and all that. It takes about nearly an hour to get into Soho. It's Westfield Centre behind me there, look, Shepherd's Bush. But I'm going to try and do it and just see. The guy said to me there could be a bit of, well, there's no underground problem with strikes, it's the main train lines. So I've got to go over here and go one stop back to Wheelston, and then I'll go to over there. I've got to get up on the underground there, not the main one, and then I've only got one stop to get to Richmond. So I'm going to give it a go. I've got all day to mess about, see what's what. Let's go. Shepherd's Bush. Oh, this is the overground. Oh, it's strange, isn't it? I really don't know where I'm going, but I promise it won't be boring. Well, that's what Bowie said, wasn't it? I really don't know where I'm going. Western Shopping Centre. It's on your doorstep. I mean, it's good. It's 15 minutes into Soho from here. So, Shepherd's Bush. Maybe that's another possibility, but the rents are higher, much higher. So let's get out to the countryside and see. Go back here. Go back one stop. Clapham Junction, that's what you seem to say. So this is the overground train, and you get off here obviously because I can see Westfields from the back of my mate's flat where I'm staying. And then you get on the old overground train, not the underground. That's different. One stop, all the way, sort of go backwards to Wheelston, but then I only change there and then I can go all the way down into Richmond. So let's see what happens. Here I am on the train, look. So I think it's maybe only about 5-8 minutes to Wheelston. We'll see. Just coming up to Wheelston, you can't see it yet. You can see the Wembley Arch. Just train to Richmond, instant. It's good service. Of course, those guys are giving me good advice. It's their job. Wheelston. It's just 5 stops to Richmond. Kew Gardens as well, so I can come back and look there. Southampton, Acton, and then if you want to go central London, you can get into like Highbury and Islington on the same line. Camden Road, so you get to Camden, so it's another way back in to central London, I suppose. This is Richmond. Kind of has a feel about being in the countryside. It is on the very outskirts, the very last overground London train that my Freedom card would cover me on. This is Richmond, our final stop. Quite a nice old station, look. So let's get out there and see what Richmond is like, shall we? Interesting where you get trains. You can get trains to Reading, which is quite easy then to get to Didcot Parkway from Reading. So that's quite good. Wimbledon, Windsor, you can get all over. You get the overground train, obviously. No undergrounds here. Interesting that they got a little visitor area, because actually Richmond is a very beautiful place. Lots of places you can go. 1Q Road. Let's do some first impressions. The advantage, as I said, about coming out here, I saw this street where there was like a masonette, and it was definitely cheaper than, it was a tiny little one bed. It was $13.50, it had a little outside area. Well, $13.50 a month for London is nice. Oh, look at that pub up there. I'm off already on the buildings, aren't I? I'm just going to show you this pub up here, and then I'm going to put my Google map on and walk to the little masonette, which has now been let anyway, so I can't rent it. But the big advantage is, now I'm 66, from 60 to 65 I had the Oyster card, which got me on all the underground and buses free. When I'm 66 I get what's called a freedom pass if I stay in London, and it will mean that I won't need to have a car. So look at that pub, beautiful. The Railway Travel Tavern, Nicholson pub. Link in description there, as always. It's a grey old day. It's not cold though. I reckon it's got to be over 10 degrees. It's just definitely not cold. So I need to find something to eat as well. So I'm going to put the destination in of the masonette, and hopefully it'll take me down somewhere where I can get something quite reasonable to eat, quite nice to eat. I got my hoodie on again, look, and I borrowed my mate's puffer jacket. So there's the front of the pub, the Railway Tavern. Looks a really nice pub. This street where the masonette is a mile away from here, which I thought it was quite close to the underground, and actually it is, because this obviously is the overground platform behind me there, and when I look it is definitely closer to the underground platform. So I may well walk this mile, and almost certainly will, and get something to eat halfway, do the other half mile, and then go back on the underground, which will be more complicated, more stops, more changes. But if that area is close to the underground, then again it's a consideration for wherever you might want to be living, I suppose. So let's see what the Richmond has to offer. Of course, it's got the classic Greggs. Everywhere has Greggs, doesn't it? Not going to do that. I want to sit down and have something to eat. So it'll likely be something like a pub or a restaurant where I can sit and have something to eat proper. The High Street of Richmond looks alright. Does look like the countryside, doesn't it? Which I do quite like that. And I've considered living in the countryside back in Didcot, Oxfordshire, where my daughter lives. But look, let's cut through this way, shall we? The big advantage, obviously, of being here is you get to keep your freedom pass, and you sort of live somewhere which does appear to look like the countryside.
Turn left on the quadrant, then in 270 yards, turn left on Victoria Place.
Okay. Tap Tavern, look, nice little place. Just bowl in there. I probably won't. I ought to. Cafe Nero. Let's have a look at the menu. Waitrose. Burgers 16 quid. I don't think you can see that, but chicken burger 16 quid. Fish sandwich 13 quid. Sausage and mash 14 quid. Oh, I might even go for that. So I did go in there. Beer makes you feel the way you ought to feel without it. Beer makes you feel the way you ought to feel without it. Henry and his sisters. So that looks really, really lovely. I've ordered the sausage and mash, and yeah, I could I could live these areas and then travel an hour into Soho when I want a bit of madness. This is nice. So far, good first impressions. Very good. There we go then. Sausage and mash. Looks good, doesn't it? £15, I think, £14. Sparkling white water, yes. No alcohol. It's a no alcohol afternoon because I know tonight I'm going into Soho to meet friends and that will likely involve alcohol. So, look at that. Looks good, huh? Anything about looking good doesn't really matter if it looks good, it's what it tastes like, isn't it? So let's try a bit of sausage, a bit of the onion and some mash. Very hot. It's very hot because I blew it quite a bit before I tried it. It's still very hot. The mash has got swede in it as well, carrot and swede, like Danny Doreen used to make. So very, very, very nice. What was it? £14 in Richmond. That's not bad. That isn't just what I do. The first place I see to eat, I usually keep walking because I think, oh, I don't want to go to the first place. Find some other places. And I didn't. I went straight in to eat because I was hungry. I hadn't had any breakfast. And that place is really nice. Link in description. Really nice, Richmond. And they told me a few areas to go, but I'm going to go and walk to this street where the little maisonette is, so we can have a look at the red front door if nothing else. I was kind of wondering, has it been raining? But it's not. But we've got a water leak over there. So that's why. Let's get back on the map and see where we're going. It's quite beautiful. It's like being in the country. That little place in Dexter's now, it's a bit out of my budget, but it's £17.95. It's a spacious one-bed flat in a Victorian conversion. It's got a garden and it's got a summer house as well. Wow. Needed to get down to about 15. Can't help but show you a bit more of the character of Richmond. It's everywhere, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's very nice. You see, as you get older, again, going back to my age, 66, I don't really go to clubs and late night bars really, even in Soho. I tend to go out in the daytime. So I'd have time to get myself into town from here. I've got a feeling it's going to take about an hour for me to get into Soho where my friends are, but you know what, I might make some new friends here as well. I've got to go up that way.